When Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength," he highlighted the importance of controlling one's mind in the face of external events. Do you know how frustrating it is to experience the paralysis brought by a cluttered mind, the pain of indecision, or the frustration caused by overthinking? We've all been there, replaying conversations, anticipating outcomes, and trying to find solutions to the endless what-ifs in our minds. Today we will tackle this challenge with 10 practical Stoic strategies. If you want to break this cycle and reclaim your mental space, please hit the notification bell and subscribe now. Let's delve deeper. 1. Visualize overthinking as an external force. Overthinking can catch you like fog rolling over a clear day. It starts with a single concern or idea, but quickly expands and overwhelms you. In today's fast-paced world of information bombardment, this is a common struggle. Our minds are crowded with thoughts like, what if this happens? What if that happens? The Stoic philosopher King Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This brings us to our first technique, visualizing overthinking as an external force. This doesn't mean making your thoughts the enemy, but realizing that these thoughts are not the core of your identity. Imagine these invading thoughts as clouds entering the serenity of your mind. You, like a majestic and unmoving mountain, stand firm as the clouds come and go. So, how do you fend off these invaders? Stoicism teaches us to observe without participating. Visualize placing these thoughts inside a balloon and watch them drift away. This mental exercise not only lightens the load, but reinforces the understanding that thoughts are temporary. Holding on to them empowers them, disrupting your peace. Practicing this visualization allows you to distinguish yourself from the overthinking bombardment and let these thoughts go before they turn into a storm. As you become better at recognizing overthinking attacks, it becomes simpler to see that your thoughts are not just a sum, but a shield in a noisy crowd. This conscious effort is like a muscle that strengthens over time with daily practice. When you notice yourself starting to overthink, stop and visualize the thought as noise, separate from who you are. By doing this, you're not only protecting yourself from overthinking, but gradually reclaiming your mental space and peace step by step. 2. Take control to refocus your energy. Have you ever found yourself dragged into a rabbit hole of what-ifs and doomsday scenarios, mentally exhausted from replaying the same concerns repeatedly, feeling like your mind is as cluttered as open tabs on a desktop, unable to stop the endless loop of what-ifs? This mental multitasking is a feature of modern life, and the pressure to stay on top of everything can lead to a continuous cycle of overthinking. However, a cluttered mind, like a cluttered desk, also needs organization. Taking control of your mental energy is essential not only for mental peace, but also to understand the noise of what if. Seneca, a wise Stoic, once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This sage advice forms the cornerstone of refocusing your energy. Saying no to overthinking starts with placing yourself in the task at hand. Direct your attention to a task, even a small one, and channel your energy into completing it. Consider this shift in focus as a starting point, like pulling yourself out of a whirlpool of future what-ifs. Practical application is simple but profound. Engage in an activity that demands your full attention. It could be as simple as organizing your workspace, going for a brisk walk, or getting lost in a book. These actions require your attention now, not tomorrow or yesterday, forcing your thoughts to align with your actions. It's not about forcing your thoughts, but about managing them by choosing where to direct your energy. Stoicism is not about suppressing thoughts, it's about managing them. The goal is not to prevent overthinking entirely, but to realize when your thoughts are not serving you and have the tools to redirect them. As you develop this focus skill, you'll see that your thoughts are not just a sum, but a shield in a noisy crowd. 3. Embrace variability and practice letting go. Our minds often trap us in a cycle by repeatedly thinking about past events or worrying about the future. This is the playground of overthinking, where thoughts become sticky and linger longer, if not welcomed. It affects students anxious about exams, professionals stressed about presentations, or anyone racing thoughts at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. In the midst of this difficulty, the words of Epictetus could be a beacon of hope. No man is free who is not master of himself. This quote may seem heavy, but it encapsulates the concept of variability, which is central to Stoicism. Everything changes. Even thoughts that resist in our minds can change. In practice, embracing variability means consciously releasing thoughts that do not serve you. This can be done by deliberately letting go of thoughts that do not serve you at the moment. If you're worried about a past mistake, understand that the past is beyond your control. If you're anxious about the future, recognize that the future is uncertain. By embracing the variability of thoughts, you're not denying their existence or importance, but acknowledging their impermanence. This acceptance creates a mental space for you to step back, observe your thoughts, and let them go. The key here is to recognize that your thoughts are not facts, they are mental events. The power of letting go lies in the understanding that thoughts can be observed without attachment. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This encapsulates the essence of letting go. By releasing the grip of overthinking, you create a vacuum, inviting the present moment to feel it. To practice embracing variability and letting go, start with small thoughts. When you catch yourself overthinking a minor issue, take a moment to acknowledge the thought and consciously let it go. As you become more adept at releasing smaller thoughts, you'll develop the strength to apply this technique to more significant challenges. Remember, letting go is a skill that improves with practice. It's not about ignoring or suppressing thoughts, but about recognizing their transience and choosing not to let them dominate your mental space. As you gradually integrate this practice into your life, you'll find that overthinking loses its grip, allowing you to navigate the ever-changing currents of your thoughts with greater ease. 4. Prioritize what's within your control. Overthinking often arises when we feel a lack of control over a situation. It's like being caught in a storm, with thoughts swirling like strong winds, and you're desperately trying to find something to hold on to. In these moments, the Stoic concept of dichotomy of control becomes a guiding light. This concept, elucidated by Epictetus, divides the world into two categories: things within our control and things outside our control. Some things are within our power, while others are not. Epictetus famously said, "Within our power are opinion, aim, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever affairs are our own. Beyond our power are body, property, reputation, office, and, in a word, whatever are not properly our own affairs." The dichotomy of control is a powerful tool to cut through the chaos of overthinking. When you find your mind entangled in a web of what-ifs and uncontrollable variables, pause and identify what is within your control. This involves recognizing that you cannot control external events, other people's actions, or even the outcomes of your efforts. What you can control, however, is your response, your attitude, and your actions in the present moment. By prioritizing what's within your control, you create a mental boundary that shields you from the storm of overthinking. This doesn't mean ignoring external factors. It means acknowledging their existence while focusing your energy on the aspects you can influence. It's a shift from feeling like a victim of circumstances to being an active participant in your own life. To implement this technique, start by making a list of the things that are causing you to overthink. Next, categorize each item as either within your control or outside your control. For the items outside your control, practice letting go and accepting them as part of life's uncertainties. Direct your attention and energy towards the aspects within your control. This process may not eliminate overthinking entirely, but it empowers you to engage with life more intentionally and authentically. Remember, the power to control your response and actions lies within you, and by embracing this power, you can navigate the storm of overthinking with greater resilience and tranquility. 5. Reframe negative thoughts with the view from above. Negative thoughts, especially those fueled by overthinking, can create a distorted perception of reality. It's like viewing the world through a foggy window, where everything seems blurred and overwhelming. The Stoic exercise known as the view from above offers a powerful perspective to cut through this fog. This exercise involves mentally distancing yourself from the situation and viewing it from a higher vantage point. Imagine yourself rising above the immediate concerns, gaining a broader view of the landscape below. As you ascend, the details that once seemed all-encompassing become smaller, and the bigger picture emerges. Marcus Aurelius often utilized this technique, reminding himself of the impermanence and insignificance of individual events in the grand scheme of the universe. He wrote, "It has long been my habit to set about examining each individual difficulty or occurrence with reference to the whole, and to ask myself, what is its bearing on the universe? What is the significance of this event in the context of the cosmos?" This view from above helps in reframing negative thoughts by putting them into a larger perspective. To practice this technique, when you catch yourself overthinking a negative situation, take a mental step back. Imagine yourself rising above the immediate concerns, gaining a bird's-eye view of the scenario. Ask yourself, how significant is this in the grand scheme of things? Will this matter a year from now, or even a month from now? By distancing yourself from the immediate emotions and gaining a broader perspective, you can reframe negative thoughts and recognize their fleeting nature. This doesn't mean dismissing the importance of your challenges, but understanding that they are part of a larger tapestry. As you incorporate the view from above into your mental toolkit, you'll find that it becomes easier to navigate the landscape of your thoughts with clarity and resilience. 6. Practice mindfulness to anchor yourself in the present moment. Overthinking often pulls you away from the present moment, trapping you in a cycle of past regrets or future anxieties. The practice of mindfulness, rooted in both Stoicism and Eastern philosophies, serves as a powerful anchor to bring you back to the here and now. The Stoic philosopher Seneca emphasized the importance of focusing on the present, stating, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." Mindfulness involves cultivating a heightened awareness of your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings without judgment. It's about being fully present in the current moment, acknowledging your thoughts without becoming entangled in them. One simple yet effective mindfulness technique is to engage your senses. When you feel overthinking taking hold, pause and observe 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This sensory grounding exercise brings your attention back to the present moment and breaks the cycle of overthinking. Another mindfulness practice is conscious breathing. Take a few moments to focus on your breath. observing each inhale and exhale. This simple act not only calms the mind, but also anchors you in the present. By practicing mindfulness regularly, you strengthen your ability to remain grounded in the face of overthinking. The key is not to resist your thoughts, but to observe them with a non-judgmental awareness. As you incorporate mindfulness into your daily routine, you'll find that it becomes a reliable anchor, allowing you to navigate the ebb and flow of your thoughts with greater ease. 7. Focus on effort, not outcome. Overthinking is often a result of our minds projecting into the future, pondering outcomes, what-ifs, and the limitless possibilities of potential failure and disappointment. This projection into the future, frequently thinking about the results of our actions instead of the actions themselves, can paralyze us. Living in a society where outcomes are uncertain can make the journey feel unworthy if the result is uncertain. However, a Stoic quote from Epictetus provides clear guidance. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our efforts and intentions rather than outcomes we cannot control. This doesn't mean avoiding setting goals or achieving significant things, but it emphasizes that true value lies in the quality of our effort, the integrity of our actions, and our commitment to the journey. To apply this technique, when you catch yourself excessively thinking about the outcome, redirect your thoughts directly to the effort. Ask yourself, are you doing your best? Are you acting with good intentions? Are you staying true to your values? This approach involves being fully present in the process, focusing on the work, and recognizing that your responsibility ends here. Focusing on effort can liberate us from the burdens of overthinking, turning the journey into a step that is not just a means to an end, but an accomplishment in itself. 8. Practice voluntary discomfort. Our minds often drift into overthinking when faced with potential discomfort or change. We try to predict every possible outcome, repeatedly playing out scenarios by attempting to think about every possible discomfort. This mental rehearsal can be exhausting and increase overthinking by limiting the size of our comfort zone. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Life is more like wrestling than dancing." This is an expression of Stoic practice, facing problems rather than avoiding them. The practice of voluntary discomfort can familiarize our minds with dealing with uncertainty and reduce overthinking. It involves small, selected actions that take us out of our comfort zone, teaching us resilience and adaptability. To integrate this practice into modern life, start with a small step, like taking a cold shower, sleeping without a pillow, or walking instead of driving. Do something that disrupts your normal routine and sit with the feelings that arise without judgment. This is not punishment, but a way of showing that the discomfort is not as dreadful as your overthinking mind imagines. Voluntary discomfort has a paradoxical effect. It increases when discomfort is familiarized by doing something unfamiliar, and the mind calms down in a familiar place. The beauty of this practice is that regularly entering an uncomfortable situation allows the unfamiliar to become familiar, and the mind begins to accept the change. You react less to changes and focus on the aspects you can control, which is your response. This powerful shift in perspective not only reduces overthinking, but also builds an inner strength unshaken by the changing and fluctuating conditions of life. 9. Contemplate the transience of life. When we overthink, we often get too close to the details of our lives and overlook the bigger picture. Our thoughts overflow with concerns like, what if this happens? Or, what if that doesn't work? Causing us to lose perspective. This microscopic perspective can make even the smallest problems seem insurmountable, consuming our mental space and energy. Seneca once wrote, "We are not given a short life, but we make it short, and we are not ill-supplied, but wasteful of it." This poignant reminder encourages contemplating the transient nature of our existence. When overthinking, question how much weight your concerns will hold in the overall timeline of your life. Consider whether these thoughts will truly be significant in the grand timeline of your life. If you feel mentally overwhelmed, pause and think, are these thoughts genuinely significant in the limited time of your life? This reflective exercise can be thought-provoking and provide a reinforcement against overthinking. Guiding your mind to remember the transient nature of your thoughts allows you to focus on enjoying the moment rather than missing the joy of the present by being preoccupied with the weight of the past and future. 10. Seek wisdom outside your own thoughts. Our minds can sometimes feel like a maze, with each turn leading to more confusion and a cycle of overthinking that starts and ends within our thoughts, often without a clear exit. A wise man recognized for his wisdom, especially on matters concerning you, seek advice from your friends. This counsel can be beneficial in a way that may impact the judgment of your self-esteem, that could affect your self-esteem in a way that could impact your self-esteem. This brief quote encapsulates a profound truth. Seeking wisdom from outside ourselves can break the cycle of thought. Stoicism teaches us that learning from within ourselves may not be the only way to break the thought cycle. This is a way of understanding that finding a way out by ourselves is not the only way. To apply this technique in a modern context, find people you trust and respect. This person could be someone in your circle or a professional with experience who can guide you. Sharing your thoughts with them can be a way to break the cycle of overthinking in your mind. This technique not only offers practical solutions, but also reminds us of the value of human connection. When we share our burdens, they often become lighter. With each conversation, you'll notice that it's not that the puzzles are becoming easier to solve or that the problems are becoming less complex. Instead, you're realizing that you're no longer trying to solve them in isolation. Which of these strategies resonated with you? Share your thoughts in the comments. While today's insights are steps on our shared journey of mental growth, if the pursuit of wisdom is valuable, please subscribe and give the video a like. Let's persist on this path by continuously seeking the wisdom laid out by the Stoic masters.